Hi there. Today I'd like to talk about my experiences lately with shooting a concert, which unfortunately I was asked to put my camera away and ended up using my smartphone. To say that that was a little disappointing is something of an understatement. However, what I did find is this. I got surprisingly good images from a phone. This right here is a Google Pixel 2, and it has truly surprised me by producing pretty decent images. Now, the images I'm going to show of that particular concert start off with some images taken with my Olympus EP5. I took the nice chrome EP5 because I thought, well, that's not going to look like a fancy camera, so maybe I'll get away with it. Unfortunately, when you add an external viewfinder and a longer zoom lens, it starts being a little obvious. So, for the opening act, I managed to get some images with that camera. But before the main act came on, well, let's just say I was asked very politely and explained that, interchangeable lens cameras would not be, high quality cameras like that would not be allowed. I could go ahead and use my phone. So I did. The concert I'm referring to was an Alan Doyle concert. Alan Doyle was the lead singer with Great Big Sea and now has a couple of very good solo projects out there. And his opening act was another Newfoundland group called Fortunate Ones. So my images of Fortunate Ones, which you are seeing right now, were taken with the EP5. Now the EP5 was using a rather slow 40 to 150 f4 to 5.6 lens, very much a kit zoom. However, a very, very sharp kit zoom. When we get into the next set of images now, these are the images from the Alan Doyle concert itself, from Alan Doyle's act. These were all shot with the Google Pixel smartphone. And as I said, I was quite surprised. Now, not having a zoom and admittedly using the digital zoom of the camera of the phone a few times, the images are not as sharp, they are not as detailed. However, they're quite good. And the phone handled the low light, which was often quite low. Stage lighting, as you know, for a concert like this can be pretty erratic. And one moment there's a blast of light, and the next moment it's near dark. Through all those situations, the phone held up quite well, as you can see in these images. Some of them look like rather moody images, others are just, well, snapshots. Anyhow, that got me thinking, and it was kind of a depressing thought. And that is that the camera as we know it is really on its last legs for the majority of the population. Even enthusiastic photographers now are often resorting to the phone rather than a dedicated camera. And I don't blame them. I mean, you've got a device that's small, it's light, you have it with you all the time, it serves many, many, many purposes. Sure, like any multi-purpose device, it doesn't do any of them particularly well. Okay? This computer sitting in front of me is much better at typing a message. It's much better at editing an image. But the phone can do those things. My camera is much better at taking a picture. But the phone can do it, and do it quite well. So really, we are entering an era where so many things now have really reached a level of obsolescence because of the smartphone. But other than high-end cameras now for professionals, and for those of us who really still have to have that tactile device rather than punching things on a screen, that really is becoming a niche market, or niche market, however you want to say it. And it is a little depressing. This is ubiquitous. Everybody has one. Everyone is now a photographer. Is the photography good? If the photographer is good, yes it is. If it's the typical person who just snaps at everything, no. But then they were the same people who probably bought point and shoot cameras and took awful pictures with those too. All right, enough of this semi-rant. I'm going to end this off by showing you some images from a dance show that I shot over this past weekend. And the dance show was shot again on the EP5 with the 40-150. Now I should point out a couple of important things about this, because these are things that will help you in making decisions on cameras. Number one, being a mirrorless camera, it is reasonably quiet. The sound of the shutter is quieter than most digital SLRs, although I've heard some DSLRs that are extremely quiet. So it is nice for discrete areas. I had to use the external EVF for the simple reason that I didn't want the screen lit up bothering the people around me. And I do find that the EVF is too bright. You do tend to get a little blind in one eye when you're looking into that EVF. And I think it may be just because this is a relatively low quality EVF. If I were using my EM1 with its better EVF, I think it would have bothered me a lot less. So that was a little bit of a bother. I find that the autofocus system is good, but it is still not as consistent, not as discriminating as my DSLR. Now remember, the EP5 is not the latest and greatest model. It is not the newest system. If you want faster autofocus, quicker autofocus, then you need a newer Olympus or a Panasonic camera. The depth from the focus system on the Panasonic works exceptionally well. Now, of course, neither of them is really a match for the best that Canon and Sony have to offer. Sony's system of using phase detect and contrast detect works exceptionally well and has a bazillion focus points. So if you're going to leave it in autofocus and let it find it for you, it'll do a very good job. Canon, of course, has that excellent dual pixel system that will follow things very, very well. I was using the center point only. I was not allowing the camera to find focus itself, for the simple reason that usually there was a group on stage and I was trying to pinpoint one particular person. And as a result, you really have to do it yourself. So I would use the center point, focus, recompose. Overall, my hit rate wasn't bad. There weren't that many really bad images in terms of technical. Now, forget about whether or not they were good artistically. That's a whole other story. I've been playing around a lot with computers lately, playing around with different operating systems, trying different things. I've got a nice laptop now that I can do much of my editing on. So hopefully in future you will see more videos, and maybe videos with a little more to them than this one. So, is there a takeaway from this video? Well, the takeaway is this. A digital SLR, a good one, is still probably a better tool for shooting something like a stage show. However, the big advantage of mirrorless is the fact that you do have that live histogram. You can also get a very accurate view in the viewfinder of how bright or dark the image is, and that does make dealing with the rather erratic lighting in a theater, that does help with that. And of course it's quieter. Anyhow, this has rambled on too long. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like. If you want to see more of my videos, of course, subscribe to my channel. And, well, if you know someone else who's interested in this type of photography, maybe you'd like to share this video, So, yeah, I've said too much already. I'm starting to repeat myself. So, bye for now. This is just a test. Testing, testing, testing. Let's see how the sound, what it sounds like. If I were going to start a video now, let's see how it would go. Hi there. A little bit of a rant today. Recently, I don't really want to rant about anything. No. Hi there. Hi there. Hi there. Hi there.